having good grades as you interacting with the technicalities of what they do in practice. It's not you doing what they're doing practically, but technically, yes, that you are doing what they're doing. So it is important. Your grades show these people that you are able to understand the lingo. You're able to understand the technicalities of my personal, if I would call it like a testimony, as that opportunities have come my way solely because I've graduated cum laude. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, I'm gonna talk to you guys about a subject that is very dear to my heart, and that is maintaining high-level grades in university. This is not just because of, maybe I'm lying, maybe it is because I was able to maintain those grades. But the reason why I'm so passionate about talking about this topic is because I have seen what good grades do for you. And I mean, we all know how competitive law is, and you know how difficult it is to get a job with just your LLB. You come across a lot of people saying that, but you don't need, you know, the high grades in order for you to land a job, because you still come across someone who's graduated like your cum laude, but they're still unemployed and stuff. But if we are being entirely honest, you need to be able to don't just look at one cum laude graduate who is unemployed. Look at how many cum laudes. I know that only few people who graduate cum laude, but just look at the whole, like just look at everything in totality. If you're going to say that you've seen this person who's graduated cum laude who is unemployed, but how many people who have an average of 50% that are unemployed? How many people who have 60% that are unemployed? So what I'm trying to say here is, please just get me right. I'm not saying that you're not gonna get a job, or you are not good enough if you are able to maintain 50% or 60%. All I'm saying is there's this whole notion that your excellent grades do no longer have a space, after you graduate. And I think that is a misfortune, and we need to address that. And that is what I'm doing here. I'm not here to talk about 50%, 60%, and saying that is not enough. I'm here to say that, listen, you need to aim higher. And yeah, if you do aim higher, this video is for you. And if you are comfortable, you are happy with 60%, which I don't have a problem if you do, that's good for you. But here I am here to talk about to address rather the issue of having these high grades, because that is where I find myself. I think the reason why people say that people do say that you don't need like a 75%, for example, in order for you to land a job, especially at like your big five. I mean, they are justified in saying that, but I think the problem is the message that is being passed when these words are being spoken, and whether intentionally or unintentionally so. So people tend to think that when you say that it is not only your A students that end up working at the big five. They tend to think that what you're saying is you don't need, or the being an A student does not matter. What I can tell you, what I've experienced myself, is your A grades are not gonna get you the contract. But one thing that I can tell you is your A grades are going to open the door for you to get inside and have them determine if you are someone that they want to work with. Because there's so many people who are applying. Imagine there are 5,000 applicants. If you are, for example, a cum laude student, let's just talk about a student. Say, for example, you're an A student and there are 5,000 applications that this firm has received, and they are only looking for 10 people. What every one of the 5,000 students or graduates are looking for is just an opportunity to get inside that door and showcase what skills they actually have or who they are, and have the firm determine if this is someone that we want to work with ultimately. And if you have, and this I've seen for myself, that if you have the grades, you are able to have an opportunity to get inside that door and present yourself. Because if you are at a position where you can't even get like an opportunity to showcase yourself, to showcase your skills at this firm, then what opportunity do you have? What potential do you have in this big firm that you aspire to work in? And I'm not saying, again, and I'm addressing this for the last time, I'm not saying that I've personally never came across someone who is working at a big five who is like your 50% average, below 65% average. I've never come across such a person, but I know that like with your, if I may, what I was gonna say was gonna sound wrong, regardless of my intentions. But yeah, I've come across people with like your 65% to 74% that are working at like your big firms, and not solely because I need to be very careful with my words, but yeah, the big firms are looking for, your excellent students. But not only are they looking for excellent students, but they're also looking for people that they can work with, people who are well-rounded, and yeah, they're also looking for all these other qualities. But the first thing that they would say that they're looking for is you being able to, just having good grades, because having good grades as you interacting with the technicalities of what they do in practice. It's not you doing what they're doing practically, but technically, yes, that you are doing what they're doing. So it is important, your grades show these people that you're able to understand the lingo, you're able to understand the technicalities of law. So I think some of the examples that, like, my personal, if I would call it like a testimony, is that opportunities have come my way solely because I graduated cum laude. I've never struggled with like getting your interviews, and that's why I'm saying that you do get an invite for an interview. It might not be the job that you get, because now your cum laude gave you an opportunity to interview for this job. So it gave you an opportunity to go and interact with this firm. And if this firm does not like you, does not like how you present yourself, then that's unfortunately something your cum laude cannot give you. What your cum laude can give you is access to the door. But what is going to determine if you get locked inside that door is how you present yourself and how you interact with the firm. I've also been given, I've also received, I've been able to, I want to say this, but I want to say this, but I want to say it in a way that does not, invoke some unnecessary conversations. But it's not favor, it's not favor, but maybe I guess I can just say that there are privileges that come with you being um, an A student. There is some respect that comes with you being um, an A student. You are being taken serious as an A student. You can be taken serious as an A student. You can be trusted with more responsibility as an A student because you are able to demonstrate that you are able to tackle with or rather you're able to produce at an exceptional level. For example, I've been trusted with a higher role solely because I was a cum laude student. So the management was trusted that because I've graduated cum laude, then I will be able to swiftly find my way around the role, because the role was for a short period of time. So they wanted someone who can they wanted someone like right now, and someone who's going to require like less supervision, and someone who's not going to struggle with acquainting themselves with the law that was used in that role and whatever. So the fact that you have that good results, it sets you apart. It opens you to opportunities that would not naturally be open to an average student. I've been afforded an opportunity to further my studies at zero cost, and not being in a position where you are struggling with an interview. You might struggle getting a job because, like I'm saying, your cum laude is not going to give you the job. It's not gonna seal that contract for you. Only you can do that for yourself. But what it does is it gives you an opportunity to get inside the door and pretty much determine if if the firm is going to be happy with you enough to sign you in.